Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Run and Code, humor in South Texas law enforcement. I'm your host, T-Bone. Along with me and got my back as always, J-Man. J-Man, how you doing?
Doing good.
All right.
Nice.
So I'd like to hear.
Yeah.
I know it's been a couple weeks, but I had to go out of town for training. And so I was doing lots of math. I'm still a little brain scrambled. My brain still feels like it's swollen to a beach ball. For those of you that don't know, I'm a crash investigator, and I had to go to advanced crash investigations, which is so much math. So much math. I passed. I guess I'm not the idiot I thought I was, but let me tell you, I was during the final, I was getting nervous. Oh, you passed. I was like, oh, I thought I failed.
Are you up there with Will Hunting?
Yeah. I don't think I have that level. My formula is only about that long. His are like that long. For those that are listening that don't know anything about crash investigations, it's not just as simple as look at it and go, it's your fault. We got to measure skid marks and drag factor and slope and crush and momentum and to figure out speeds and whose fault ultimately, and that requires math.
Yep.
So it's a lot of it. And then next month I'm going to reconstruction school, which is the big granddaddy of crash investigation. So it's just one of those, so much math, but it's got to be done. You don't have to like it. You just have to do it. And what's funny is the guy that teaches these schools, he became a crash investigator in 82.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like 40 years doing it. And I asked him, I said, do you like math? He goes, I hate math. Hate. He goes, but if you know your formulas, it's just knowing the formulas. And you have your formula cards. Okay, I need speed. I need distance, velocity, momentum, whatever the hell it is. And you just got to know how to find the information to put in the formulas. Then once you know how to work a formula, you're fine. Yeah. And I guess, the mathematical order of operations, PEMDAS. You got to know that.
Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
Yep. Because you're going to have all of them in one formula. You're going to have division. You're going to have multiplication. You're going to have division and multiplication inside of parentheses. And then you got to, and you miss a step. You're going, this guy wasn't doing 300 miles an hour. Something's wrong. Oh, I forgot to square it, And you're like, whoops. So
damn, PEMDAS. Oh, that's like high school.
It is. And I was not a good...
Middle school, at least.
I was not a good student in high school. So I was really rusty in math. So,
oh, man.
But I did it. It was 2 weeks. I spent 2 weeks in Houston. Not a fan of Houston. But they get a lot of real business down there in crash. Tons of it. They average a lot of fatals down there because just the sheer amount of the size of people, and it's almost 7 million in that whole county.
Yep.
They got fatals left, right, and center. So they have a lot of real world experience, and that's what he was. He was a crash investigator for the county for like 40 years. So damn. He's seen it all. Like, oh, yeah. And now he's a certified national expert. So he actually testifies at the trials. He gets paid to do it. And they, law firms will call him, or he'll be a rebuttal witness, stuff like that. So now he's teaching. That's what he does now. Now he teaches all these schools, but he's got the 4 decades of experience to do that. So when he speaks, people listen.
Right.
He does not have to raise his voice. He just says, that's wrong. Okay, that's wrong. You don't have to argue with him because he's not going to hear it because he knows what he's doing. And he was able to teach this stuff without even looking at the books. I'm just like, oh yeah, he put the formula up, and it'd be this long, and I'm just like, I'm never gonna get this shit. And I did, I got it. But if you asked me to do it right now, I'd be like, which formula was that? So T-Bone's a dumbass when it comes to math, but it's just a matter of knowing the formulas. So that's where I've been. So listeners, that's why we've been gone for the last couple of weeks. I was out of town. I'm going out of town again next month. So I know we haven't been consistent. I'm sorry. Real life still gets in the way. Like I told you several times, we're not doing this for a living. We're doing this for fun. We have our own jobs and lives. This is when we get a chance to do it. So if you stuck by us, thank you. We appreciate that. We're going to try to get more consistent. We're still trying to figure out how we're going to do lives. Don't know yet how we're going to do that. Getting guests. Don't know yet how we're going to do that, because if we want guests that aren't local, we got to figure out how to get them here. And so there's a lot to it. We might start a Patreon so that people can kind of help us out if they love this that much. We're not begging for money, but if there's things you want to see, it costs money. Neither one of us are rich, so I'm not expecting to get rich off this. Maybe famous or infamous if we say the wrong thing, or I say the wrong thing. Maybe infamous. But so we appreciate you standing by us. Lots gone on the last couple of weeks. What happened in Kerrville?
Yeah,
that was tragic. And in fact, I would have been up there if I hadn't been going to training. I would have been up there. We're not far, and the boss said, if you weren't going to training, you'd absolutely be up there. But I need you in this training. You need to have this school. But they all went up there. And they've told me some stories, and it was pretty tragic.
Mhm.
I know there's a couple that are going to be scarred for a while. And I told them, you need to talk. Just let me know. Because they had to see dead children. That's unfortunately comes with the job.
Yeah.
But they saw a lot more than you normally see in a year.
Yeah.
In one time.
Yeah.
So they were telling me stories about officers, deputies, and troopers breaking down, which can't blame them. I mean, you shouldn't have to see that stuff, but unfortunately, that is the lot in life we've chosen, and you're going to see it, and you're the one who's got to deal with it, and so a lot of people need a lot of mental health help after that, and I don't blame them one bit. Can't make fun of them. Shouldn't have to see that.
Yeah.
And they say there's still 100 plus missing, and they're probably never going to find them because they're buried under tons of silt and sand and rock, cars that are completely buried. I don't know. Did you see that one picture, the F-150 or 250 that was completely buried?
I didn't see that. I didn't see that photo. No.
The fire chief was in it, I think, or I don't know if his body was in it or he got washed out of it, but it was a fire chief's vehicle or a firefighter. I may be getting the details wrong, but it was a government vehicle, but it was buried. It was on its side like this with the driver's door or the passenger door up, and it was completely buried. They managed to uncover the top. That's just how much water and sand and dirt. That's horrible. And I know there's going to be a lot more coming out about that because warnings weren't given. Yeah, that's tragic. That's horrid. So our hearts go out to the families and of those children and the first responder to go up there and see that and deal with that. And I wish I could be with you guys because I know I should have to do that alone, but I unfortunately didn't have a choice. And hopefully I'll never have to do something like that. But again, that comes with this job. So
Yeah.
I've only got 3 years left, brother, and I'm praying I can make it to 3 without seeing another goddamn dead child. But don't see that happening. That just comes with what we do for a living.
Yeah.
So we've done mental health before. The only thing I want to say on mental health is you've got to talk to somebody. You talk to somebody. You do not bury this stuff. Your cup will overflow and you will snap and it will come out in the worst ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Traumatic stress does not ever come out in good, positive ways. It comes out in horrible, horrid ways. So you need to talk to somebody, reach out, talk to somebody. Cops have been on this job longer than 10 minutes, should know that that's healthy. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you a bad cop. Like the old days, you never ever wanted to go to mental health and let your bosses find out about it or other deputies or officers because they're like, oh, you're a pussy and you can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
The thinking has gotten better on that when they realize that you can only see this stuff for so long before it does build up on you. Everybody has something that hits their funny bone. Yeah, but I think for every cop universally, children will always hit your funny bone. And I don't mean funny as in humorous. I don't. On this one, it just hits you and it cuts to that armor. As cops, we build that armor around our emotions and around our heart because the stuff we got to see, we got to stand there and be the professional while other people are losing their shit. But certain things will cut right through that and just gut you all over again. And I think for those guys up in the hill country, I don't think anyone's going to walk away from that unscathed after the shit they had to see. And they're still recovering bodies. And there's bodies, like I said, they think there's 100 more that they still haven't found. And they may never. They're buried. Yeah. They may not come up till the next flood comes through and unearth that. I mean, it's just, it's sad, it's tragic, and I think there's going to be some, I heard on the news that there's going to be some federal investigations as to why warnings weren't given, why people weren't warned.
I think also, too, that the flood, the water level rose so fast. I wouldn't say it rose 45 minutes, 30-something feet. That it's like even if there was enough warnings given, there would have been like sufficient enough time for like people to like.
It was middle of the night too.
Yeah, prep the.
It wasn't like broad daylight. It was middle of the night. Most people were asleep.
Yeah,
these campers, these little girls, they're all asleep.
They're all asleep. Yeah.
How are they going to get warned?
Yeah,
and they didn't have time, and that's going to be a lot of it. Is how much time did you have? How much time did you know?
Right. But
people don't realize how destructive and fast water moves. Water is incredibly destructive, and it moves incredibly fast. Mm-hmm. And when we've been in the drought we've been in, the ground's not soaking it up, so it's acting like a plastic funnel because it's not soaking it in. So it's just rushing right down to full speed, like a concrete trough. Mm-hmm. There was no stopping that. You could just get out of the way if you were lucky, right? And that's all you could. And so our hearts go out to the hill country up there and the first responders and the families and everybody up there and HEB. I love HEB.
Yeah.
Did you see they sent that convoy right away?
Convoy right away.
Who needs FEMA? We got HEB.
Uh-huh.
And they were on the way. 18-wheelers, generators, tools, food, you name it, they were on the way. That was awesome to see. And everybody poured in to try to help. And then some people got in the way because they just wanted a political. I don't know if that was that senator or congresswoman or whatever, but she went up there and got in the way of everybody. And it's like, you're not here to help. You're in the way.
Yep. Both sides are doing it.
Both sides. It wasn't just one. And as much as I am a well-known Republican, both sides are doing that crap. And you're not here to help. You're here for a photo op. We want you here to help. You want to help? Donate money or use your position to bring awareness to help. This is not a soundbite to make yourself look good. These are children. Okay. It is what it is. Politicians, they can't help themselves. There's a camera and they will run over their mother to get in front of that camera. I mean, unless they screwed up and then they walk out like this,
Yeah.
Anywho. But so J-Man and I, over all these episodes, we've touched on our next topic that we're going to discuss today a couple times. Why do you want to be a cop? We've talked about it, but we never really did a deep dive. All the different motivations that people have. Everybody becomes a cop for different reasons, whether it's a family trade or they just need the job and hey, paid well and it's stable, or military veteran still needs that sense of camaraderie, or adrenaline junkies. There's a million different reasons. What you always hear people say, what I've always heard people say is, "Oh, I want to help people."
It's a really common answer. I think it's a safe answer,
It's the safest answer.
And like old boards. So but there are people in uniform who actually do want to help people. It really is.
They are. Cops actually care more than people think we do.
Yeah.
We put off that we don't give a shit, but we kind of have to protect ourselves. But we actually care very deeply. And I've done it. I've seen other officers in the parking lot in their cars after shift sobbing because of some of the crap they had to see. I pulled a dead 2-year-old out of a pool, did CPR, nothing I could do. And I have to maintain my professionalism and listen to mom scream that you just can't unhear. And I'd like to say that I handled that really well. I did on scene, but I remember sobbing on the way home. Mm-hmm. It just got to me because I had kids, and I had kids that age at that time. They were young kids, and it really got to me. That could have been my kid. And I think any human, we have that instinct to protect a child. That's a human instinct, is to protect a child, like to protect young puppies. That's why I love puppies and kittens and children, because we're innately born with that instinct to protect something that's helpless.
Yeah.
When you can't protect them because it's done prior to your arrival, that guts you.
Yeah.
Then you become a parent. Magnify that, because now in your head, that could have been my child. So there is nothing wrong with driving home sobbing at all. You got to let that out. Don't bring it home to poison your family or bury it, and then it just comes out against your wife and kids or your husband and kids, and they don't understand why mommy or daddy's acting different. Mm-hmm. PTSD does change you. It changes the way you act. It changes the way you think. It changes the way you're hyper alert. It comes out in a variety of ways. The only good news about the last haven't been at war since 2001, and for this generation, is that they have a much better understanding of mental health. Much better understanding of PTSD, much better understanding of how to even start helping instead of burying the problem or saying it doesn't exist or you're too tough for that. You're human.
Yeah.
And it's going to back up on you and then it's going to bury you. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to beat that horse because we talked about mental health before, but understand when you say I want to be a cop, this is what you're going to do. There is no position in law enforcement that is safe from seeing that.
Yeah.
You may think, well, I'm going to be crime scene unit. You're going to see it every damn time.
Yeah.
Because you has to go and document it.
Yep.
So you have to stand there in the blood and the guts and the brains and the gun smoke and get that scene, and you have to do your job, because if you fail to do your job as crime scene, could affect the case.
Yeah.
So there is no position that's safe in law enforcement that I won't see stuff like that. Yeah, you will. And it might be sheer accident because you're heading out from that nice cushy office job to go to lunch, and it happens right in front of you.
Yep.
And you can't go like this. You got to deal with it. Mm-hmm. So bear that in mind. You decide, I want to be a police officer. That's what you're into. it backs up on you. You lose. If you had any faith in humanity before you became a cop, you're going to lose it. You're just going to lose it. It's that simple. And it's not that people are dumber than before. It's just now you're seeing it, and you're seeing it on a constant, consistent basis. And so your last call was the dead 2-year-old, cleared the scene. Now you go to the next call, and it's some neighbor that just wants to complain that their neighbor had a garbage can 2 inches over their property line.
Yeah.
And you want to explode and go, are you fucking stupid? Is this really? You want to flip out on them. But how do they know what your last call was? They don't.
Yeah.
And you can't sit there and tell them. They don't even know that. That's not something you want to tell them.
Right.
So you just got to suck it up and just sit there and listen to this Karen and get pissed off because you have no idea. That's nothing. That's a nothing issue.
Yeah.
That's you can do that yourself. You want to call us because you're bored, have access to a phone. That's what you're going to deal with in this job. And that's your 8-hour shift, 10-hour shift, 12-hour shift. Everybody's 8s, 10s, or 12s. It differs. You got to deal with it day in and day out and day in and day out. And there is no going home. After that, stuff calls. You got to get out there and you got to work. So you go from the dead child to the complaint or the neighbor, and you go from there to a minor fender bender where they barely touched, but someone's throwing a fit. I was like, you have no problems.
That's definitely over $1,000 worth of damage. Can't even see the paint chip.
Where? Have you seen Hamburger Hill?
I want to see it. No, I haven't. I haven't seen Hamburger Hill.
Great movie. It was a true story. But the sergeant, the platoon sergeant, was like, you got the drip. Your girlfriend's cheating on you, this and that. He goes, you have no problems. That's kind of what you want to tell people. You have no problems. You're alive and bitching about your bumper. You have no problems. Mm-hmm. Can't say that to them because to them, that's a big deal. To you, it's like, okay, the crashes I work, there's bodies and brain matter scattered across the highway. There's a dead child. There's a dead innocent person because the drunk asshole hit him. They have problems. You have no problems. So you want to say that because you're human and you're like, no, fuck you, man. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
That's nothing. Like, grow the fuck up and just deal with it. And I'll tell you right now, we don't deal with the self-reliant, self-sufficient people as cops, by and large. We deal with the people that can't handle the real world. Mm-hmm. That, oh my God, my life is ending because okay, here's a great one. My ex texted me from Montana, I want a police report. So he lives in Montana. Yeah. Okay. Did you block his number? Well, no, I shouldn't have to do that. And what would you like me to do?
I shouldn't have to do that.
So, yeah. So, you're going to see this stuff. But I think it's important, honestly, to know your motivations. Why do you want to do this job?
Yeah.
It's kind of like people join the military. Some join for education benefits. Some join because I'll get to kill somebody. Some join because I want to go to war. I'm a warrior. And I can respect that. You're a warrior. And warriors want to go to war. It's great for the economy. Other people, I need something to do. Other people, judge said, I'm going to give you 2 choices. Join the military or, so law enforcement, you won't get that option.
No.
Yeah. But everything else you might. So there are some agencies that do reimburse you for education.
Yeah.
Some agencies you go to, you're going to be in the fight every day. You're going to be in the hood, adrenaline through the roof all day long. You at LAPD, Rampart, South Central, your heart rate's going to be 160 all day long.
Yeah.
Maybe you go to a smaller municipality where it's not quite that. You got to make your own fun.
Like Beverly Hills.
You know what? There's actually a lot of shit that happens in Beverly Hills, and I'll tell you why. I was actually listening to the Anti-Hero podcast. Love you guys. They had a Beverly Hills PD officer on, and he said actually a lot of shit goes on in Beverly Hills because the shitheads go through Beverly Hills. And that's how they get into the car chases and the pursuits and the shootings is because the shitheads going through Beverly Hills to get south of Rodeo and Wilshire and all that shit. Okay. And he goes, that's where we get our shit. Now, yeah, the people that live there, he said, pain in the asses. Actors, actresses, politicians, pain in the asses. They think the cops are their own personal butlers.
I can see that.
I absolutely can see that. But he told a lot. It kind of opened my eyes about Beverly Hills PD. I'm like, damn,
I guess Castaic. How about that? Castaic.
Oh, the area?
The area. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, it's not far from a horrible area.
Yeah.
You got the jungle, which is, I can't remember, Nickerson is it
The
Nickerson
Jungles
Gardens
is
or
Baldwin,
Jordan Courts or whatever?
Jordan Downs.
But right above it, and like a mile back, is multi-million dollar mansions. And then right down the bottom of the hill is Jordan Courts and Nickerson Gardens, which cops are required to be a 2 police car response to any call in
Talking about LA or Compton?
LA.
So that would be, you're thinking about BPS. Baldwin Hills or Baldwin Village.
Something
Jungles,
like
Black Pea Stones. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know they had $10 million houses behind it.
Multi-million dollar houses
shit.
right up the damn hill. So, but we have that here.
Yes, we do.
We have that here. You go through one little municipality that's all rich as shit, and then you go 10 feet over, and it's the hood. And it's like there's this dividing line. Like, you're not welcome over here. You stay over there. Your bullets stay over there, too. You know? So, but they get a lot of action because the car's coming through that town to cut through to get onto the highway.
Yep.
Oh, that's stolen, and the chase is on.
Yep.
So, yeah, I couldn't work for those little small municipalities because all the people that say I know the chief of police actually do know the chief of police.
They do.
And we'll call and make your life miserable because
They
you gave
will.
him a ticket.
They will.
Or you insulted him. Or you said something sarcastic.
You just stopped them and gave them a warning.
Or, yeah, you just stopped him. Well, I was busy and on my way. Well, how the fuck would I know that? You know, you should have ran my plate. I don't give a shit who you are. I pulled over a very famous actor. I talked about him. One of my favorite actors ever. But after the interaction I had with him, I was like, fuck this dude. I don't watch his movies now. And he's one of my favorite actors. And I'm like, fuck this guy. Just because his attitude. And I'd heard that rumor that he was like that. And I was like, maybe that's just Hollywood bullshit. No, that's how he is. But then you hear the stories about Keanu Reeves. Like, super nicest guy ever. Like, an actual, genuinely nice human being.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me a bigger fan.
Yeah.
Because he's rich. He could be that snobby dickhead, still get, one of the highest paid actors ever.
Yep.
And no one will really say much because that's how you're expected to be. But he's actually genuinely a nice person. So I respect that.
Yeah.
That makes me respect somebody. Actors that act like that guy did, fuck you, dude. I get you're a little people fatigued. I understand that. I'm sure you can't go anywhere without, can I get an autograph? I get it. But I pull you over because you ran the stop sign doing 20 over the speed limit. I don't know who the hell you are. And your car's not registered to you because they don't register their cars themselves. They're registered usually to an LLC or their lawyer or something like that. Never registered to them for good safety reasons. They're not.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But I walk up, hello, I'm so-and-so, and the reason I stopped you, and they're, I'm like, okay, well, I need your license. You know who I am. Still need your license. Because that could be a go-by. Most actors don't use their real names.
Yeah.
They go by. So I'm like, no, I need your actual legal license. I need your legal name. You know how I am. Oh, yeah, I got to go Wikipedia your shit now to run you. Really? Like, come on, dude. So thank God I didn't have a warrant, though. That would have been like, oh, fuck me. Call the Sarge. Call the lieutenant and the captain. Yeah, you don't want to come out here for this one. Trust me when I tell you, you'll know why when you get here. These lawyers probably already on the way.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I think it's important to understand your motivations. Why do you want to do this job? What is it you're looking for out of this job? Is it you just want to do 5 years, get some experience, do something else? Is it you want to do the full 20 or even 30 or 40?
40.
We have one guy in my agency, it's 38 years. I'm like, it's time to retire, brother. Time. Way past time. You're maxed your retirement. You've maxed everything. Like, dude, you've seen it all. Time to call it a day. Go sit in your porch, drink beer. Like, dude, you've earned it. You know what I mean? But there's a curse, and we'll talk about that with cops and retiring. We'll talk about that curse because there is a curse with cops retiring, but I'll tell you how to defeat that curse. But a lot of people don't do it because this job consumes you. Mm-hmm. And you make this job your whole entire life, and that's all you are. You have nothing to stand on when you retire.
Yeah.
Your whole world is now gone. And now you have nothing to fill that vacuum and that void of adrenaline and active lifestyle. And you just... Yeah. So we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
So I can tell you why I joined. I came out of the military, multiple combat tours, that camaraderie with that close-knit, these are my brothers and I would die for them and they would die for me. I missed that. I needed that. I needed the adrenaline. I needed the rush. So that's why I joined. I want the adrenaline. I want that camaraderie. I want to have guys to my left and right. And it could be girls. When I say guys, it's unisex. Just so everyone knows, don't get all twisted, ladies. You include you too. But I wanted those guys to my left and right that I could trust, that would have my back, would be there for me. And then I had that tight knit you come into work. Because you know how cops talk to each other. If we don't talk
up.
shit to you, we don't like you.
Yeah.
If we don't, hey, you bald headed fuck, how you doing? That means I like you. If I'm like, hey, what's up?
If
you
it's
keep
like
walking,
too like clean and PC, something's wrong.
yeah, they don't like you. Or they don't trust you.
Yeah.
But if I walk, you bald headed bastard, we love you. That's just how guys are, and that's how cops are.
Yeah.
We talk shit to each other because we like each other, and that's how you build that camaraderie. But I know that same guy, and I maybe in the fight later, I know he's gonna be right there next to me, and I why worry when I know I got that right next to me? I got it. We got it. We'll take care of it. And that's why we hurt when a cop goes down.
Yeah.
We hurt badly because that one could be any one of us.
Yeah.
Two, you may know that guy personally, and you just shared a Whataburger with him, and then an hour later, he's dead.
Yep.
And that gets to you because that could be you.
Yeah. No, right.
because
Yeah.
I don't know if you're a Trekkie. I love Star Trek and Star Wars. I'm actually a bi-space guy, so I like Star Trek and Star Wars. That makes me weird. But Captain Picard, in one episode, did say something that was very smart. He said, you can do everything right and still lose. He goes, that's life. You can do everything right and still lose.
That's absolutely right.
So in this job, you can do everything right and still lose. You can lose your life. You can be hurt. And you did everything you could, everything you were trained to, everything you learned from experienced officers, and then over your time and still get hurt.
Yeah.
So just because you lost doesn't mean you did something wrong. That's just life. So that's why I joined.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what your motivations were.
So, I don't come from a law enforcement family. My mother, she was a cop. She was a detective. Now, I remember being younger and like messing with the gear, the hat, whatever.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But when I became a teenager, it's not that I didn't like the police. It's just I really wasn't thinking about that. So,
well, where you lived, the cops weren't exactly. What everyone wanted to see come around the corner was a Baltimore officer, right?
they all right. You know what I'm saying? Like
you say that now.
So I just wanted to go to school, kind of do that stuff, but I was doing security work as I was like going to school. So when I moved to Texas, it was saw a sheriff's deputy, and that kind of piqued my interest. And then when I like put in the application that I was going to go work in the jail, that was kind of different because it's not like street work. It's obviously you're in the county jail, and I just ended up liking it, and I ended up liking the law. So it's really kind of hard to say maybe why I joined. Maybe it was because of like what my mom did, just seeing it and ingrained in me and planted the seed early, and that's just what I was going to do because I actually do like it. I like it, and there's been a couple of things that happened to me in this job, and I'm still here. Like one being shot at. If I wanted to catch pussy and leave, I would have left right after I've been shot at.
Yep.
Still doing the job. Or working the jail before any of that even happened. Mm-hmm. A lot of people will just leave. Yeah. They're not showing up back to work tomorrow.
Like, hey, where's so-and-so? Oh, he turned in his badge. What the fuck? The bullets missed him. Like, really, dude?
Yeah.
But you get people that are like, hey, look, this ain't worth my life. I have a kid at home. I'm not going to leave my child. And I understand that. And I get that.
Yeah.
But did you think it was never going to happen to you? This job is not forgiving. Mm-hmm. Mother Nature is neither merciful nor nice. Well, neither is law enforcement.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be the first time that you get shot at is the first time you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, it should be in your mind, like, hey, this might happen.
24/7, yeah. So I think that for me, it was just ingrained in me. And naturally, I've always been told that I like to be right, which I don't think that's true, but my mom says
I know you way too well. I've never seen that.
My mom says I have to be right when I argue. I don't know. It's a mother thing. I'm not going to go against my mother. So I'm like, okay, sure. You're right.
I've known you for how long? Well over a decade.
Yeah.
I've never seen that side of you. I'm the one who always has to be fucking right. And everybody knows me will tell you he has to be right. But the curse is I'm usually right. So when you're right 99% of the time, you really piss when you're wrong 1% of the time.
And then I started studying like legal concepts on my own, amendments, case law behind it, and none of that to me is boring. I will sit there and I'll read the Texas Penal Code book, criminal traffic law manuals, Black's Law Dictionary. Mm-hmm. I just like law in general. Mm-hmm. So it's great fit for me. Mm-hmm. Great fit for me. Mm-hmm. And that's why I joined. I know it's a complicated, long-ass answer, but really, if I got to get down to the root of it, it's because of seeing what my mother did. Okay. And that was it for me.
I mean, cops are the last of society's warriors outside of the military. Mm-hmm. We're still the ones people call to tackle that guy with the gun We're still the ones to call when someone's being hurt. We're the last of society's warriors. The problem is society doesn't want to see how it's done.
Yeah.
They'd rather just say, "Oh, you took care of it." Well, there is no nice way to arrest a combative subject. There's no nice way to do it. It doesn't exist. They want us to. You got all the Facebook experts that live in mom's basement, 300 or 400 pounds eating Cheetos, trying to tell you how to be a cop. Well, you get off your fat ass and you go do it, and then you'll change your mind real fast.
A lot of people who ride along and they have this one conception.
Their eyes opened up real quick.
They open up real quick, super quick. And it's just like, you put too much faith in people that they're actually going to listen to us. I think that's the big thing is, and they're not.
But there's also officers who, why don't you listen to me? I got a badge on.
Yep.
Okay. They don't care about your badge. Some people do not give a shit about your badge.
Tell that to the twice convicted felon who was a gang member, and you just pulled him over with some weight in the trunk. Yeah, and he's going to fight you because he knows he's going to go away for a long time.
He's on 3 strikes.
Listen to me.
Yeah, he's going to be like...
And especially if you don't come correct.
Yep.
You don't come with some gangster to you, which I hate to use that word, but it's true.
It's true. You can be polite and still be professional and get your point across. But sometimes you got to motherfuck somebody too. Sometimes you have to do that. And it's not that you want to talk down to them. It's that that's the language they understand. So I can say 10 times, "Hey man, have a seat. Hey man, have a seat." Or finally I can just go, "Sit the fuck down." And he sits down. I'm like, "Okay, thank you." Coming right doesn't mean I'm going to kiss their ass. That's not what that means. I will be polite, but I will be professional, but I'll be stern if I have to be. But I'm not going to motherfuck them or insult their mama or all that stupid bullshit to make a point, because that doesn't do anything. When it's necessary, though, use it. But don't ever insult their mama. Yeah. I've seen cops do that. I'm like, dude, what? Are you serious, man? Why is that necessary? Like, I'm the first one to talk shit, but there's no reason to do that. Like, had nothing to do with what happened here, and you just insulted the guy's mom. He socks you in the mouth, I'm like, well, you did insult his mom. You insult my mom, we're gonna fight. That's a shit and kick your ass first. So, right way and wrong way to approach everything. But if you want to dive into the deeper motivations, there is a sect of cops that I just want to shoot somebody. One day I want to shoot somebody.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're not exempt or safe from people with wrong intentions wanting to do the job.
We're not. You can do all the screening in the world you want to. You can run a full CCH, Interpol, and everything, and go clean record. They can pass the psych eval. They can pass the academy and show that I am the best cop there is on the planet. You don't know what's inside their heart.
Yeah.
Or you don't know what later changes them.
Yeah.
Maybe they did start out that way as I want to save the world and I love people, and mentally it started getting to them. Yeah. Or mentally they started identifying with the wrong crowd, and then now they're using their badge to get... And I'll tell you right now, it doesn't start big. You don't start out stealing money from crime scenes. It starts out little shit.
Yeah.
I got away with that. I'm going to get away with this. 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 And then eventually you get fucking caught.
Yeah.
And then people start coming forward. He did this to me. He did this to me. He did this to me. And there's a long trail of people you have wronged that were waiting for their opportunity to get your ass.
Yep.
But there are people who do come in from the start with a criminal mindset. We don't catch them all.
Yeah.
Just like every other job on the damn planet, you're not going to catch them all. And people are like, well, how come you didn't catch them? Because they're human beings. Mm-hmm. And they fool us. It's kind of like women who say, how do you not know that cop was bad? How come you didn't know that piece of shit you dated was a piece of shit until after it was too late? He hid it. Because everybody's on their best behavior for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
6 months, a year, whatever the hell it may be. And eventually it comes out. So the women who say that, or guys that say the same shit, how come, well, you dated that girl who was a fucking psycho, but you didn't find out for a year. Yeah. She was on her best behavior until the truth came out.
Yeah. And
then you were shocked. It's the same shit with us. You don't see it all right away. They don't come into the academy first day going, I'm going to steal shit and fuck people up. That's not what happens. But trying to explain this to civilians who don't have a clue how law enforcement works or how we screen, at the end of the day, you can screen all you want.
Yeah.
People are going to slip through.
Yep.
It's kind of like CIA. Alder Games, Robert Hansen. They had top secret clearances. They were spies for Russia. Yeah. They were screened as you can be and still fell prey to that. Mm-hmm. Their motivation was money. Yeah, that's what their money. You know how they caught Alder Games was he started driving a brand new Jaguar. And it still took him a while to figure that out. Like this guy at the time was making like $11 an hour and he's driving a brand new high-end Jaguar to work with everyone else driving piece of shit cars falling apart, and they still didn't catch it right away.
Spy car.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
cow traps.
but his was money.
Yeah.
So everyone has their motivations. For some people, it's money. Some people, it's hubris, ego.
Yes, power. Yeah.
Power trip.
Yeah.
Some people, it's I was bullied, and there is some truth to that. When people go, you were bullied in high school, now that's why you're a cop. For some people, that may actually be right.
Yeah.
And this is my chance to make all them people pay. But that's not the by and large for law enforcement. By and large, the cops I've worked with, and I've worked with thousands by this point, are genuinely good people, good officers. Maybe a little rough around the edges, maybe not as polite as they should be. I'm one of them. I'm not as polite as I should be sometimes. But I never doubted their intentions were that they were pure. They were. But one slides through, and then they get caught, and you're just like, no shit. Now people think, oh, you should have known that. It's not like they brag about it. They're not coming in a roll call going, hey, man, I stole $1,000 out of that car yesterday that I searched. They're not coming in bragging about that shit. So everybody's like, you guys should have known. How would we know? It's not like he's telling me.
But that's that, and that's a motivation right there. Like as far as like when you're talking about why is it that you want to do this? Because the easiest, like I think the easiest, complaint or negative that I've gotten from the job is that we all just protect each other's like criminal actions. Like we're all a big gang that just goes up there and we terrorize the public.
That may have been true, in the 70s in LA, in the 80s in LA, and in the 80s up to 2017 in Baltimore or Chicago. But these days, in the present era we're in, that's really not so much. I'll tell you right now, I'm not giving you my badge. I'm not sharing the jail cell next to you. Mm-hmm. I have a life to pay for. I have my integrity, and I'm not going to give it up for you because you want to go be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I will straight up narc your ass out in a fucking heartbeat because it will not be me joining you in that next jail cell. Nope, not happening. And most cops know that most cops are honest and have integrity. So they're not going to go brag about it. They're generally not going to do it right in front of you. Mm-hmm. They're going to be sneaky about it. Now, it's getting a little harder to be sneaky with GPSs and cameras. And this is getting a little harder to be sneaky, but officers will find a way. Criminals, period. That's criminal. It's criminal. He's a criminal.
It's a criminal.
He's going to find a way like criminals do.
Yeah.
You're never going to stop it in any job. You got priests, crap the priests have done. Those are supposed to be the men of God.
Yep, but they're criminals.
They're criminals. Cops, lawyers, judges, because they're human beings. Mm-hmm. Human beings are going to be compromised by three things: money, drugs and alcohol, same or opposite sex if you're into that. One of those three is going to compromise you. I'm not going to say 100%, but that's what compromises most officers is one of those three things. I'm not talking about the officer that lost his temper and used excessive force. That's not... I thought about that all day, and I can't wait to do it. That was you snapped, this guy punched you in the mouth, and oh, motherfucker, and the fight's on, and he finally gives up, and you're still pounding away on him. That is not the same thing. It's not good. Not condoning it. Not blessing it, so don't get all your panties twisted. But the three things that get most people, period. Cops, criminals, priests, doesn't matter. Money, sex, drugs, and alcohol. It's one of those three.
Yep.
And that's why polygraphs heavily dive into those three things, because those are the three things that are going to get your ass.
Yep.
That's why if you have really bad credit and a shit ton of debt, they may not take you in law enforcement because you're going to be on scenes of money. You're going to search cars with money in it or jewelry, shit you can steal and sell because you need money so bad. And that's why they concentrate on those things.
Like those deputy constables that were stealing on camera. It just doesn't get any stupider than that. Everybody's camera's rolling. Everybody's. And it made no sense. But you got to think about how long they were doing that with the camera on. They were just careless that day.
And never got caught.
Right. They didn't even think about it.
They
didn't even think about it. It's just so natural to them to start putting stuff in their outer carrier and then walking outside with it.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are criminals.
They need to be fired. Period. End of story. They need to be fired and charged. End of story. Because you forgo your protection of the blue line when you do that shit. You're no longer part of the blue line. This whole, you guys hold a thin blue line. No. There's a difference between an officer being genuinely wronged because they did nothing wrong and they're being politically railroaded and an officer committing criminal acts. That's two separate damn things. If you're committing criminal acts, you're not going to have too many officers going, we got your back. No, dude, you were doing that. And you fucking knew better.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the one who's being railroaded for politics, that's totally different. We
Yep.
got your back all day.
Yeah.
So that's two separate things. But the public wants to think, oh, we're just going to protect each other. No, we're not.
Mm-hmm.
But getting back to motivations. So here's the various reasons I've heard when I was an instructor at the academy. And then when I had trainees as an FTO, because I always ask my trainees, why do you want to be a cop? I want to know who I'm riding with. I want to know what your motivations are. I want to know what I can expect from you. I want to help people. Not saying that's not true, but don't give me the answer that you think I want to hear. Tell me the truth. Okay? I've heard I want to help people. I've heard where else can you kick someone's ass, and where else can you get in fights and kick someone's ass and do that aside from boxing or UFC? I'm like, okay. That tells me about their motivation. Mindset is though, so now I have to keep a close eye on them. Like, are you purposely winding this asshole up so he'll take a swing at you and then you have the carte blanche to whip his ass?
Yeah.
Now, so do some people need their ass whipped? Yeah. There are people who do need their ass whipped, but it will come. You don't have to push it. It will come.
Yeah, it will come.
You don't have to.
That's
you don't
true.
Have to do shit.
That's
it will
true.
come. It may not happen when you wanted to. It'll be the day you weren't expecting it, and that's when you get your ass whipped. It's like, oh shit. But by and large, it will come. You don't got to push it. Trust me, it's coming. You got. I want to help people. I want to whip someone's ass. I missed the camaraderie in the military, and I wanted it back again. This is the only way I think to get it. I'm an adrenaline junkie. And the only way I feel happy is my heart rate's constantly up because you never know what's going to happen. Okay, fair enough. I've heard all those different reasons. Educational benefits, get some real world experience. They want to be a lawyer, but they want to get some real world cop experience. Okay, I can see that. So I've seen all these different motivations, and I've seen people initially tell me, I'm going to do 30 years, and in 5 years, like, you know what, this isn't for me. And I can respect that. When you learn that something's not for you and you walk away from it versus getting yourself or someone else hurt or killed, I can respect that because this job is not for everybody.
Yeah.
This is why departments have high turnover because a lot of people realize, hey, either I'm quitting because that scared the shit out of me and I got family and I'm not going to get myself killed, for fun, or this isn't what I thought, or the pay's not enough, or I can't stand my agency, whatever the hell it may be that you quit for, or hey, I've just hit my limit. Like I didn't think I would see this many traumatic incidences, and I can't do this. Okay, you know what? My hat's off to you, man.
Yeah.
And I wish you the best. The ones I can't respect are the ones that stay, knowing they can't hack it, but they're too embarrassed to walk away, and they end up getting themselves or someone else hurt. And usually it's somebody else that they get hurt because they didn't leave. You're not chained to it. Not a prison sentence. You're not in the military. You can resign, hell, halfway through your shift. I've seen people resign halfway through their shift. Turn around, drive back to sub, throw their badge down the watch commander's desk, and walk out. Okay. Sucks. Thanks to the hole you just left us, but at least you knew yourself better to realize I need to walk away now before I get myself hurt or killed or somebody else. So I think it's important people to understand their motivations. Now, it could be a combination of all those things. I want to help people, but I also love to get in fights, and I love the adrenaline. It could be a combination of any one of those things I labeled off. If your sole motivation is to come because you want to kill somebody, please go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Become a mercenary and go work in the Middle East or Africa. Don't. No, dude. Because every time you do that shit, and it's a bad shooting, we all look like shit. Mm-hmm. So if you want to go kill people, go be a mercenary and go to Ukraine. If you want to kill people, you can go be a mercenary in Ukraine, and Ukraine will hire you. Like, that's not why you're here. It would be nice if I never had to pull the trigger on this job. I'm one of the rare percentages that has had to. Mm-hmm. It's not fun. It's not easy. It's not a good time. It's not like the movies where you shoot somebody and you just give your sergeant the finger and walk off the scene, get in your car and drive off to the next. No, not how that shit works. You're going to be down on the desk for a long while they investigate you, and they got to tear your life apart too for the last 24 hours prior to the shooting. It ain't like the movies, kiddies. Nothing like the movies. The most accurate was End of Watch.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the movie in the beginning they had the shooting?
Yeah.
And then they were cleared, and welcome back. Taylor and Zavala are back. It's a homicide. It was clear, justifiable, but it's still a homicide. Mm-hmm. They weren't right back at work the next day. They were out. That was pretty damn accurate. You're out. Some departments it may be 2 weeks. Some departments it might be a year.
Yep. But
you're going to be out. And you're going to be scrutinized and heavily scrutinized. Everything you did is going to be Monday morning quarterbacked by people that were never even there. And they're going to quarterback how you did what you did, why you did what you did, why'd you do this, why'd you do that, why'd you say that, why'd you do this, why'd you stand there, what? And you're sitting there getting pissed off going, Jesus Christ, you watched the video, right? But it doesn't matter you had a video. They want a statement from you.
Mm-hmm.
What did you see? What did you hear? What did you know? Most importantly, what did you know? Because as everyone should know, all the cops should know, from Graham versus Connor, Garner versus Tennessee, you can only be held liable for the information you knew at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot be held liable for information that was found out afterwards. So, give you an example. I'll just give a real world example. And it happened, and I want to say it was in Iowa. Maybe Ohio. Maybe I'm getting it mixed up. The call came out. Well, let me give you the backstory. Off-duty officer. And this off-duty officer ended up getting shot by an on-duty officer. Off-duty officer, someone said that guy over there is robbing somebody. He ran over there, ended up having to shoot the guy. The guy pulled a gun on him or something. He ended up shooting him, but he didn't have his badge hanging out of his neck. Nothing identified him as a cop. When the cops got there, they pulled in right as he shot him. And he wasn't hearing them because his blood adrenaline was up. They're shouting orders. He started to turn with that gun. They shot him. The information they had from witnesses was that a guy with a gun was chasing another guy with a gun. That's all they knew. And they described the off-duty officer. Because people are the worst eyewitnesses on the planet. Well, he turned with that gun. All they saw was that gun coming around. And they shot him. Now, he did live. But they could not be held liable for that. That's the information they had. You don't got time to go, hey, sir, are you trying to help?
Right.
Because that gun's coming around.
It's a threat.
Oh.
Eyes immediately
Bullets travel a lot faster
Yeah.
than words.
Yeah.
So, you can only be held liable for the information you knew at the time. Period. Now, everything you knew at the time, combined with your actions, now that is what gets scrutinized. Now, some agencies have where they take you straight to the hospital, pull your blood and urine for your analysis. You better be sober and no drugs in your system. Even if it's a totally righteous shooting, if you were drunk or high, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
And that family will sue the shit out of your agency. It doesn't matter if the shooting was justified. You were drunk or high.
Mm-hmm.
End of story. They're going to ask, how much sleep did you get last night? Do you have a fight with your wife or girlfriend? I mean, they're going to ask you these questions. They're going to ask you because they need to know your motivations. And what they're really trying to find out is, did you have to do this?
Right.
Could this have been avoided? If they can answer that, no, it would not have been avoided no matter what, you're going to be okay. Okay. But you still have to come down to CID and you still got to write your statement about, well, type these days, but your statement, what happened? What exactly, start from the very beginning. This is not a Quentin Tarantino movie. You start at the beginning and you go all the way to the end. So chronologically, why you did every single thing you did. Mm-hmm. And if you can do that, you'll be okay. If you can justify everything you did, you'll be okay. If you can't, you may have a problem. So your investigators do not care if the person was black, white, green. They don't give a shit about that. Why'd you do what you did? Because to them, that doesn't matter. Where that's going to come into play is up at the top. The chief, the sheriff, the director of your agency, whatever. When the media starts screaming and the families on Facebook screaming, they only killed him because he was insert demographic here.
Yeah.
But the detectives are going to be like, that's not why it happened. But the sheriff, the chief, or the director's got to be like, well, trying to appease the crowd at the same time to keep things from exploding without divulging too much information. But they can't just come out and say, it was good, it was blessed, when the shooting happened 5 hours ago.
Yeah.
Because then it comes back, it wasn't, and he lied. Or it comes back and say it was a bad shooting, and everybody believes that immediately, no matter what, automatically believes that. And then it turns out it was a good shooting. And then the sheriff, chief, or director has got to get up on the cameras and go, it actually was a good shooting. They're like, oh, you're hiding something. It's a cover-up. There is no winning. Don't even try. So, but you should know your motivations. So you start looking at your agencies. Do you want to be a state trooper? Do you want to be a municipal officer? Do you want to be a sheriff's deputy? Do you want to be FBI, ATF, Border Patrol, whatever? Why?
Yeah.
Why is this something that you want to do? Is it something you feel that I feel like I need to serve my community and this is how I feel best to serve my community? Great. We need those too.
Good motivation.
It is a good motivation, as long as that really is what is in your heart.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to arrest people to help them. Yeah. Sometimes that's how you help somebody. I've arrested people that this was the only way that I was going to help them was to get them into custody. Whether that was an emergency detention for mental health or arresting them was the safest thing for them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And of course, the guy getting arrested doesn't believe that, but that's fine. You know the truth. And I can sleep at night knowing that what I did was done righteously under color of law and I didn't violate anyone's rights. And I can sleep like a baby.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never arrested anybody I thought was truly innocent. Because you hear, oh, innocent until proven guilty. Does not apply to cops. It applies to juries or judge in a bench trial.
Yeah.
It does not apply to cops. We arrest you because we think you're guilty, not because we think you're innocent. Otherwise, we wouldn't be arresting you.
Yeah.
You violated the law. That's how we have to look at it. We can't play judge and jury on the street. Before cameras, we kind of could and use our best judgment as cops and go, okay, look at the big picture. Will this guy reoffend? Will this kid reoffend? But you wanted cameras. Well, you took away our discretion. And now you're going to jail on something that 10 years ago could have been like, man, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Don't let me catch you doing it again. I'm not kidding. Don't let me catch you doing that shit again. This is your freebie. I will remember. Those days are gone.
Mm-hmm.
They're gone. So now, if you did it, I'm sorry. You made the choice.
Yeah. No, it's true. Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. It's kind of like drunk drivers when they kill somebody. I didn't mean to. I don't think you meant to do it, but you still did it.
That's the one crime where everybody wants to have, like, we're expected to have the most discretion. And that if the crime's not harming anybody. It's DWI doesn't harm anybody if we catch them and arrest them for DWI. And we're supposed to have all the discretion in the world when it comes to that crime.
Yeah.
Because I always heard, well, you're just wasting time. You're just wasting time. You should be up there arresting the real criminal.
No, you know what you always hear? You're doing too much.
Yeah.
You're doing too much.
Yeah, a drunk driving, you are a real criminal.
You are.
You're not fictionary. Nothing about you is fictional. What you chose to do 20 times before I actually pulled you over and caught you, you're a real criminal.
Yeah.
Because what are you going to say when you eventually hit another vehicle and you kill people in that car, severely hurt them? Hell, what's your family going to think? You kill yourself driving drunk.
Yep. Totally
Everybody's
avoidable.
going to be fine with it.
Completely avoidable.
We're not doing enough.
Yep.
Like, at that point, we're not doing enough.
And that's really the one crime from DWI to any of the DWI, any of the Chapter 49 crimes. Mm-hmm. Talks manslaughter, talks assault, DWI child, DWI, whatever it may be. All of those are 100% completely avoidable.
Yep.
100% avoidable. It's the one crime that crosses all demographics. Young, rich, old, poor, thin, fat, black, white, old, tall, short, doesn't matter. That's the crime that crosses every demographic there is. You could be that guy who's never been arrested, never had a ticket in your life. You're going to promote you're going to party and celebrate your promotion. You have way too many, drive home, kill somebody.
Yep.
And now you're going to prison for at least 8 years minimum for intoxication manslaughter because you couldn't catch an Uber or you didn't want to leave your car at the parking lot or you thought, I'm good, I do this all the time and I've made it home every time until the time you didn't.
Yep.
So Texas, I don't know if you heard this, and I heard it in this last training class, that they're talking about raising every level up one in all the DWI offenses. So first will be an A. Second will be a state jail. I'm like, whoa. Or 1-5 or higher will be a state jail. I'm like, whoa. But I think that's needed. I personally, having cleaned up all the bodies I have from intox manslaughter, I think the first DWI should be a felony. Now that may sound harsh, but let me break it down for you and put it in a different perspective. What is a car classified as? A deadly weapon.
Deadly weapon. Yeah.
What's a gun classified as?
Deadly weapon.
A deadly weapon. If I walk down the street and start wrapping rounds off of people, is that a misdemeanor?
Oh, no.
Okay. Now I'm drunk driving the 5,000-pound weapon down the street.
That's a misdemeanor. Unless you hit someone or you hit and kill someone.
But I missed him. But I was shooting at them, but I missed him. So why is it a felony?
Because of the great bodily harm that shooting a firearm poses to someone, whether you hit them or not.
Now where's the drunk driver in the 5,000-pound car going down the same road?
If you miss them, yeah, that's nothing really. You just missed them.
But you missed a pedestrian with the bullets.
You're right. Right.
So that's where I try to equate people. Like, understand this 5,000-pound weapon you're driving down the road. You're drunk. You no longer have the full total control you should have with it. And you have the potential to kill people. And you want it to be a B misdemeanor with an $800 bond and a smack on the wrist so you can go do it again?
Yeah.
No, it needs to be a felony. Now, that sucks that you'll lose your right to vote. You lose your right to own a gun. But clearly you don't make good choices. Clearly you don't. Now, I'm not the gunmonger that wants to take guns away from every single American. No, I love guns. And hey, have all the guns you want, dude. I love that. But you're showing you don't make good choices. You don't plan ahead.
Yeah.
Your DD decided to get drunk. So, you know what? You got drunk on me. I'll drive now. Time to call an Uber. Uber, $40, DWI, $10,000 minimum. And lose your license. And if you're a guy that drives for a living, well, you may need a new job. Some jobs will fire you for just having a DWI.
Not even if it gets convicted or not.
Yeah,
just the fact you got arrested.
Yeah,
for
you're gone because
you're showing. To be sober.
They're assuming that we did our job correctly, and that's why you got arrested. Has there been an occasion where people have been genuinely sober and got arrested for DWI?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me tell you a little story in Houston. This happened years ago, but the instructor in the class was telling us about a fatality that he worked involving the Harris County Sheriff's Office and a civilian. This Harris County wasn't at fault. They were transporting a guy that they arrested for DWI. He was in the back seat, belted in and everything. Both officers are belted in. They're going up one of the on-ramps onto the highway, and it's got the walls. There's nowhere to go. It's single entrance ramp. Mm-hmm. Drunk coming right up, hit him head on. They had nowhere to go. And he slammed, because he showed us the interior cameras and the exterior cameras. There was nowhere he could have gone because he came right over the hill. And there was boom, full speed. Fucked both the officers up royally. Killed the guy in the back seat. Because, well, people don't realize seatbelts the way they lock. They don't just lock and hold. They lock, release, and then lock again. Mm-hmm. That's to give you a little more movement, because they just lock and hold. All that kinetic energy is going right across your chest, right here. What's right here?
Heart.
Your heart. So they release, lock, and release again, and lock. The guy's in the back seat, and they showed us the video, and you can see at the impact, it releases, locks, and slams, and then he's It ruptured his entire aorta. He was stone cold sober. He wasn't drunk. He wasn't high. They arrested him for DWI, and he was stone cold sober. The guy that hit him was killed. Or, no, he was injured, but he did get 2 counts of, 1 count of intoxicated manslaughter and 2 counts of intoxicated assault on the officers. One officer crushed his legs because he was slamming on the brakes with both feet, and the impact broke both his legs and broke his hip. And then the passenger officer, the CAD came off and just crushed his face on the impact. It sucked because, the whole thing sucked, period. That's just shit night right there. But the guy in the backseat was stone cold sober. Zeros. It was like, and they didn't give him medical attention. The medical crews that showed up were too busy with the deputies and never went back and checked on him in the backseat. And he bled out on camera in the backseat.
Damn.
Internally. But he showed us his autopsy photos, and you can see where the seatbelt, well, he was right here. He was sitting on the right side. That massive bruise all the way down his chest. What I found out, police cars don't do the lock, release, lock. They lock and hold.
Oh, okay.
They're different. Well, the one in the backseat was supposed to lock. It went lock, release, lock. That snap on that impact. Just his upper aorta or whatever just completely severed.
Damn.
And he was in the back seat crying. Like, he couldn't move. He's in handcuffs. He's in a cage in the back. And it was actually really heartbreaking to watch. So, of course, family sued, the sheriff's office when they found out that he was sober. And, of course, they sued the other guy. And there was a whole long chain of lawsuits from that one. I don't know why. I never got the full story. I ever obviously read the report about why they arrested him. What did they see that drove them to that decision? But turns out he was stone cold sober. Mm-hmm. So either he had naturally occurring nystagmus and refused the SOSC. They're like, well, fuck it then. You're under arrest or something.
Yeah.
Who knows? Luckily, both those officers survived. It's heartbreaking and tragic that guy died because he didn't have to be in that car at all. This guy was actually drunk and driving the wrong way up the fucking on-ramp and killed him and hurt those 2 officers bad. And they had nowhere to go. He slams on the brakes and he put him all the way to the floor and just wham. And it was a big car that hit him head on. It wasn't like it was a big car that hit him head on. So 2 opposing forces. Crash is all about Newton's physics, Newton's laws, right? Mm-hmm. Objects in motion, stay in motion. Objects at rest, stay at rest. Yeah, objects in motion. That's a lot of kinetic energy being transferred. Big words for cars hit. Ooh, big noise. Big crash. I can show you the kinetic energy formulas if you'd like to see them and to calculate how much kinetic energy that was, but it was a lot. So it's kind of like an 18-wheeler. 18-wheeler, 65 miles an hour hitting a car. I can show you how many foot-pounds of pressure that is, and it's in the millions. It's in the millions. So they did a case study where they had a vet who was doing 200 hit a car and how much kinetic energy that Corvette had. I was like, woo, millions. It's got to go somewhere. Energy goes somewhere.
Yeah.
You don't just stop dead, the energy stops.
Yeah.
For those of you dumbasses that don't wear seatbelts, the car may stop at 60. You're still doing 60 until you hit something that's solid enough to stop you. So just so y'all know, not wearing a seatbelt's a bad idea. Wear a fucking seatbelt. So,
yep. You may think the ticket's bullshit, but
yeah.
Until
you hit the A pillar at 60 miles an hour with your forehead, or the windshield at 60 miles an hour with your forehead, because the airbag is designed to come out and stop you because you're wearing a seatbelt and you'll meet it. If you're not wearing a seatbelt, you're going to go over the airbag and right to the windshield. Let me tell you, that windshield's harder than your head. And you're just going to pop. Seen it? Because they didn't wear a seatbelt. If they didn't wear a seatbelt, they would have probably walked away. Or maybe just minor injuries, some gunpowder rash burns from the airbag, maybe some bruising here from the seatbelt, but they walk away. Instead, they weren't wearing a seatbelt, so they went over the airbag and hit the windshield, and you can see the imprint of their face, and the windshield is cracked out like this, and you're like, idiot.
Yep.
And their whole face is just completely shattered. If they survive, they're getting plastic surgery. You know, wear your seatbelts, people. Wear your seatbelts, and brother and sister officers, please wear your fucking seatbelts.
Yeah, wearing your seatbelt's important. I got T-boned on duty. You know,
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Wearing my seatbelt,
and you're wearing your seatbelt. That's why you're sitting across from me right now, probably.
Yeah, wearing my seatbelt
instead of medical retirement, or the worst.
No, yeah,
because what kills officers? What three things kill officers? Car crashes, gunfire, health.
Yep.
Those are the three things that get officers.
Yep.
Car crashes is number one, not bullets. Number one is car crashes. 2 is health. 3 is bullets. In that order.
Yep.
But it's car crashes because we work 8 to 12-hour shifts. You're driving anywhere, if you're a small agency, to maybe 100 miles in an 8-hour shift, to a large agency where you run 300 miles on a 12-hour shift, 5 days a week, or whatever. The odds are not in your favor. You're going to crash. You're going to have a crash. Whether it's your fault or someone else's, you're going to have a crash. That's just the odds. They're not in your favor.
Yeah.
And then running high-speed code, and that guy blows the red light, and you had the green, still your fault.
Yep.
Because you didn't clear it, even though how are you going to clear it? Because this dickhead was racing the light, and it turned red, and he still keeps coming, and he goes through, and you broadside him, or he broadside you, and because you didn't slow down for the intersection, because people are stupid, we know they run lights. So it happens. So, I don't know, we keep getting off on these tangents.
Yeah.
But
it happens.
It happens. Know why you want to be a cop. If you're not doing it for ethical, moral reasons, please don't come. Please don't do it. Because even if you're in Bangor, Maine, your shitty bad day up there, your criminal day up there affects every cop in this country. Mm-hmm. It's probably one of the few jobs where it affects every single other person in that same job across the country. Because now the people in San Diego think that because that asshole in Bangor, Maine did it, that this cop in San Diego is going to do it too. Mm-hmm. And we can stand there all day long. I'm not going to hurt you. Instinctively, they lose more and more trust in us every fucking time. And that's the number one hardest thing to ever get back is trust.
Yep.
Because it's gone. Because of that jackass 3,500 miles away across the country.
Yep.
So, and media doesn't help. Social media does not help. The media doesn't help. Oh, we have all the answers without any of the facts. And they put out what they think is the truth. And then when it comes out that it really wasn't that way, the media is nowhere to be found. They're
rarely printing retractions because then you got to admit they were wrong.
They don't like doing that. And so they just hope that it'll get dropped and they can just move on to the next thing. Mm-hmm. That's how media works. We all know that. So I think it was important today to talk about why people become cops and whatever their motivations are, whatever their reasons are, whether it's a family trait, come out of the military, you want something to do, a judge. Well, never mind, you won't get that option. That's military. You thought it looked cool. You wanted to wear a gun and badge to get laid. There's motivations too. We didn't talk about that one, but that's actually somebody. I will wear this badge and gun belt and I will get laid. Yeah, you will. But the women, go back to our Badge Bunnies episode and see why that's a bad idea.
Oh, yeah.
because that never ends well. If you're doing this job to get laid, that's why you're doing it. You will get laid, and you'll eventually lose your career over it.
Because one of the potential outcomes could happen, have an argument, all of a sudden she's upstairs calling 911, you hit me.
Yep. The end, because she's going to win that one no matter what, and your career just got flushed. You may get lucky and have proof you didn't, and eventually the truth comes out, but you're going to ride the very hot seat for a while. And if you get an agency that is hair trigger, they may just shit can you anyway, because they believe where there's smoke, there's fire. Not always true, but that's what they believe for their own public image. So, yeah, if you're doing this job because you want to get laid, please go be a fireman.
Yeah.
Go be a fucking fireman. Yeah. You can do the same thing there, but you're not as likely to get fired.
Pretty much. And everybody loves them.
Now, don't sneak women into the firehouse like those idiots back east that had all those strippers and shit fucking sleeping in the firehouse. Like, you idiots.
That's something that's something I can see firefighters doing.
They did.
That's some firefighters.
They did. I can't remember what it was, but they did. I don't remember how they got caught, but they did.
They already have a pole.
Yeah, they have a pole.
They have the pole.
Right down it.
It's right there.
Yeah, next up on the pole. Fiery bush. So, that's what I want to talk about today. I thought it'd be good that people can, if they're thinking about becoming a cop and have been watching our podcast, that they can listen to this and go, okay, what are my motivations and why wouldn't it be a good idea, or why would it be a good idea, XYZ? And bear in mind, this job is not for everybody. And that's okay. That is okay. There's nothing that says you're a bad person because you go to field training and go, this ain't for me. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
Just know that is when you need to walk away and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But we need to do our ODMP and we need to do our case law. So we'll end with the ODMP. So hit me with the case law, J-Man.
All right.
It's your turn.
So
while I sit here and smoke my vape.
This case law, I never heard of it before because U.S. versus Carroll is one of the, it's like the common when we talk about the automobile exception.
Automobile exception is U.S. Yeah, Carroll. What's this one?
This one is United States versus Chadwick, and that covers closed containers, the automobile exception, and the Fourth Amendment. And it's pretty much in the warrantless search of a locked container when there's no exigency and it was secure in custody violating the Fourth Amendment. Now, I've came across locked containers before, like in a car, and this is like for inventory, and this is when I had probable cause to search because I had the odor of marijuana and I found marijuana, not in the closed case.
Yeah, it's a warrantless search because you don't need it.
Now, doing an inventory of a vehicle, and the case is already closed, it's locked, secured. If I don't have consent from the owner to open the case to see what's in there, I'm not going to touch it. It's already locked, already secured. I have no reason to. Me trying to use the reason that I need to see what's in there for an inventory, that's going to be a bad idea. And if I find drugs in there, more than to me, I'm going to consider that fruit of the poisonous tree. Because where's the exigency in it, number one. Number two, it's not a search, it's an inventory. It's different. I'm not calling it an inventory search. That's a term that I've heard before in law enforcement. It's not a search.
It's not. It's an inventory.
It's for valuables.
To protect valuables of the vehicle because you're taking custody of their property.
Yes.
Now, if you find something in the
course of
that inventory, that is different.
Then it becomes a problem.
That is fair play.
Yeah.
But if you're popping open a lockbox that's bolted to the floor and you get your crowbar out and break the lock on a lockbox this big, you may have a problem. Now, should you search the trunk? Yes.
Yes.
There could be a person in there.
Yes.
Yes. But lockboxes, yeah, you're going to have to get a warrant. So what he's talking about is if we say we tow the car and then decide, you know what? I want to break that lockbox open. I want to see what's in there. No. You need a warrant, consent, or probable cause. And that's it.
And this is how this one began. DEA agents in San Diego received a tip that Chadwick and Leary were transporting narcotics in a locked footlocker. Agents observed them arriving at Boston's North Station by train and loading the footlocker into the trunk of a car. Agents arrested the men outside the car as they closed the trunk. No claim of exigency. Footlocker was under exclusive government control when searched. And then the impact that it had on case law. Locked containers and vehicles are distinct from the vehicle. A warrant is required once the container is secured and there's a heightened expectation of privacy, which that's something to think about. Like locked containers in the vehicle, it's a whole separate item.
Yep.
It's not a part of the car.
Yep.
So that's where the warrant would have to come for the container. And extended Chadwick to all the luggage. So it's just in the PC2 probable cause 2 container allows warrantless search in vehicle. You still need a warrant after the container is secured, which that's just something to think about. Because if you have a locked container, but you got PC to search the whole car because you found marijuana in the car, you still need a warrant for the locked container.
Yeah. Or consent.
Or consent.
Which sometimes you may get, and the worst thing you can hear is the word no. But if you never ask, it'll always be no. So ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, cool, man. Open it. Okay, it's nothing. Close it. Cool. Whatever.
And then just to continue a little bit more, you got California versus Acevedo, 1991, expanded the automobile exception to warrantless searches of containers in vehicles when probable cause exists for the container. Overruled Chadwick on containers inside vehicles, but Chadwick's warrant requirement applies once the container is removed and secured.
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy. It's just crazy to think about. Like, it really is crazy to think about. It's just, because I imagine a scenario if a guy's like, before he pulls over, say he locks the container, he throws it out the window. Like, but he still claim, hey, that's my container. Like, hey, don't pick that up, that's mine.
Well, if he threw it out and then does not claim it, well, that's abandoned property.
Oh, yeah, that's abandoned property.
That's abandoned property to me.
But if he's trying to be, like, finagly with the law, like...
Yeah, because he knows the case law. Like, I chucked out the window. Sorry.
That's my container. Hey, man, you can't go in there. It's still my container.
But I will tell you right now, if you found narcotics in the car, you'll have no problem getting a warrant to open that container.
Yeah.
None. You won't have a problem.
Absolutely.
So just when in doubt, what did I always say? When in doubt,
get a warrant. Literally, when in doubt, get a warrant. Like, seriously.
It's not that hard. It really isn't. You just have to have a detective willing to write your warrant for you.
Yeah.
So,
and this is why I like stuff like that because while it may you may have a case law or one specific incident that sets precedent for case law, it always piggybacks off of previous ones, and then it creates precedent for when newer ones become applied and things get expanded. Mm-hmm. And things get expanded, so it's always good.
The Supreme Court will build, or circuit courts or Supreme Courts will build off previous ones to add things or change things and whatever.
That's why
that's a good one.
We're searching the car and found marijuana in the car, and we see a backpack. Backpack's free game, especially if the backpack's not locked.
It's not a locked backpack.
Nope. It's just one with the zips.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, here's the jars of the weed too. Yep. Oh, there we go. More weed.
Yep.
Hey, there's a gun in the bottom. Oh, okay. It just perfect.
Now, this is going to boil down to agency policy as well, but our policy is you will open the trunk and you will make sure there's no body in the trunk. And what that stems from is we had an incident where we towed a car that was abandoned, didn't check the trunk. Turns out that a woman in the trunk who had been sexually assaulted and left for dead in the trunk.
No.
And they found it at the tow yard when the tow yard called and said, "Get that motherfucker back over here." And she was alive, but she'd been in that trunk for like 3 days. So after that, our policy changed to you will open the trunk on any car you search and you tow. Okay, fair enough. But that's not a locked container that's big enough to hold a body. For welfare, you better make sure there's nobody in the trunk because this has happened before. Yep. But you open it, see nothing, slam it.
And if it's in your
it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, the vehicle's in your custody, you have the key.
Yeah. So that's a good one. I like that. Let's do our ODMP.
Yeah.
We've had 5 since our last episode. 3 were at one time. I don't know if you heard about that in the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department today.
No. I didn't hear about that today at all.
No, it was yesterday.
Oh, yesterday? I didn't hear about that at all.
Yeah, I'll get to it. So we have from Dona Ana County Sheriff's Office, New Mexico, on Tuesday, July 8th, Deputy Sheriff Antonio Alaman was killed in an automobile crash.
Yeah.
On eastbound Interstate 10, close to the Avenida de Mesilla exit at approximately 5 p.m. Deputy Alaman's patrol vehicle collided with the back of a semi-truck while on duty. He was transported to Mountain View Regional Medical Center in Las Cruces, where he succumbed to his injuries. He had been with the SO for 4 years. He is survived by his wife and 2 children. Damn. All right. Next one is California Department of Corrections. July 17th. Parole agent Joshua Bird was shot and killed in the Division of Adult Operations, Parole Operations, in Oakland. Shocker. Oakland. Agent Burr was transported to Highland Hospital where he succumbed to his wounds. The shooter, a parolee who was released from prison a week and a half earlier, fled the scene, taking a bus and later stealing a car. He was apprehended and will be charged with first-degree murder. Agent Bird was a U.S. Navy veteran and had served with California or CDC for 11 years. He's survived by his wife and 3 children. So in California, they're peace officers.
Yeah.
Parole officers are peace officers. And then the 3 that died in the same incident, I'm going to name their names and read the incident because they all died in the same incident. Detective William Osborne, Detective Victor Lemus, and Detective Joshua Kelly Eklund of Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department were killed, I believe it was a training accident with fire with explosives. All 3 were killed in an explosion at the Biscayes, I don't know how to pronounce that, Center Academy training at 1060 Northeastern Street in Los Angeles around 7:30 a.m. But I will go back through. Detective Osborne served with L.A. Sheriff's Office for 33 years. Survived by his wife, who's also a detective with Los Angeles County, 4 sons and 2 daughters. Let me go back. Detective Lemus had served with Los Angeles SO for 22 years. Survived by his wife, who's also a detective. His 3 daughters, 3 sisters, who also served with Los Angeles Sheriff's Office, and 4 brothers. Good Lord. Mm-hmm. And then Detective Eklund had served with Los Angeles SO for 19 years. He's survived by his wife and 7 children. So those 3 died in the same incident with explosives at the EOD facility. Yeah. So it happens. EOD is a one mistake kind of job. So that's 5 since our last episode.
No.
5. Overall numbers, let me go back to that because I forgot to just look at overall numbers for this year already from January 1st. We lost 47. 424 to gunfire, 15 auto-related, 3 medical, 5 other. So I guess this year gunfire is higher than auto-related. Usually it's the other way around.
Yeah.
But we're only halfway through the year. Rest in peace, guys. Tell you, you never know what's going to get you in any job, but this one, you definitely never know what's going to get you. Yeah. I'm sure that parole officer didn't think he was going to get shot by a parolee in his office.
Yeah.
In Oakland. I mean, it's Oakland. Like, Jesus. You die by high-velocity lead poisoning in Oakland more than anything else in Oakland.
Yeah.
So, well, we didn't get any emails. We got one email, but I won't read that one. Nothing wrong with it. It just had nothing to do with something the crowd needed to know. So, but I did get your email, and I'll look at it. Didn't get any comments on our last show. What the hell? Thought we had a good one. I know I turned on the comments.
Yeah, like I said, it could be just we're not
we're not being consistent enough.
Yeah,
so we're trying to work on that. If you want to send us an email, you want us to drop us a comment, it's running_code at gmail or runningcode2023 at gmail.com. So that's RUNNINCODE 2023 at gmail.com. Don't put the G in there because it won't come through. We're running code, not running code. You can leave messages on the YouTube channel, either under the audio or the video. Keep them appropriate. If they're racist in any way or prejudiced in any way, we're just going to delete them. That's, but if you just want to call us out, hey, call us out. I don't care. If you think we got something wrong, tell us what you think we got wrong, and we'll go, okay, we got it wrong, or nope, we got it right, you got it wrong. Do your research. But we're not above going back and going, hey, we were wrong.
Yeah.
We're not media. We'll tell you if we screwed up. We have no problem with that. So we appreciate y'all for joining us again under another week. We're going to try to get more consistent. Brothers and sisters, be safe. Please watch your backs. Citizens, we hope you're getting more awareness of what this job really entails and what it really actually is versus what you've seen on TV, and maybe have a better appreciation for your officer if he's maybe mouthing off at you or has an attitude. Maybe his last call was something involving a child or a fatality, and try to give him a little bit of grace. Doesn't mean he should motherfuck you for fun. Okay, there are avenues for that to address if he does, but please try to have just give us a little bit of grace. We're human beings too. So another great episode, I think that was a good one. More content to come. Again, we're still working on going lives. We're still working on getting guests. We're just trying to figure out the logistics of that. Not easy, and it ain't cheap.
Yeah.
Nothing in the podcast world is cheap.
Nope.
Nothing. These mics aren't cheap. I mean, nothing is cheap in this world. So we're working on it, but just stay tuned. Please stay loyal. New listeners, we appreciate you, old listeners. Thanks for keep listening. Please pass us to your friends and family. Tell everybody to give us a listen. And, Jamie, anything to add?
Nope.
Well, from J-Man and I down here in South Texas at Running Code, we appreciate you watching. Y'all have a good week, and we're out of here.